What is going on, YouTube? After this past weekend where we saw possibly the largest protest in American history, I believe it is incredibly important that we continue these conversations. And so whether you were somebody who attended the No Kings protests, were unable to attend but wanted to attend, or if you're somebody who is still unsure about what the anger is all about, I've chosen 9 somewhat lesser known books that explore many of the issues that Americans are concerned about today. The rise of authoritarianism, the stripping of human rights, a leader who is completely surrounded by enablers, and a fan base that will support almost anything that he does, along with a political movement that doesn't seem to strive for the betterment of America, but rather seek any opportunity that hurts their political opponent. And the list goes on and on. And as I discuss each of the books that I have selected, I will continue to expand on the issues that America is facing today. But before I begin on the books, I do need to shamelessly plug my book, The Crumbling of a Nation and Other Stories, a collection of 14 dystopian short stories that cover a variety of political, societal, and economical issues, many of the issues that are explored in these books right here. But that's enough about me. Let's get to the books. The first book I selected is The Iron Heel by Jack London. That's right, the guy who talks about dogs. But this book surprisingly has absolutely nothing to do with dogs. Instead, this book, written in the early 1900s, explores the rise of socialism in America and the way that it is completely squashed by America's richest people. This is something that very much ties into America today, where there are millions of Americans advocating for things like universal health care, student loan forgiveness, livable wages, and all these other things that would actually make life better for the everyday American. Meanwhile, we have a billionaire president and his billionaire friends doing everything in their power to prevent any of these realities from coming true. The next book is It Can't Happen Here by Sinclair Lewis. A cautionary tale about the fragility of democracy, it is an alarming, eerily timeless look at how fascism could take hold in America. Published in 1935 at a time where fascism was rising all over the world, Lewis knew that America was not excluded from them. And 90 years later, here it is. The next book is Red Clocks, which explores a near-future America where abortion and IVF has been entirely banned. 2 things that this current administration and their followers have advocated for. You can think of this as a more modern Handmaid's Tale, one that is a lot more focused on the actual legislation that hurts women, something that is a huge concern with this current administration. Next up, I have 2 of the more popular books on this list, The Parable of the Sower and The Memory Police. And while I'm sure many of you have already heard of these books, I felt that they were very important to have on this list. Parable of the Sower is probably the most important book to understand what is happening in America today, for it almost perfectly predicts the MAGA movement, where a far-right candidate comes in and says that he is going to make America great again, while all the while making America great for the rich and absolutely nightmarish for the poor. While The Memory Police details a government that can quite literally erase things from existence. Very much a metaphor for what our current administration is trying to do. Trying to entirely rewrite the narrative of the January 6th insurrection, to outright lying about things like grocery prices, an Elon Musk Nazi salute, the meaning of tattoos, and the list goes on and on and on. All in an attempt to change our memory. Because even though we think that memories are things that cannot be tampered with, this has been proven to be untrue. If you repeat a false memory enough times, your brain will start to believe it. Next up, we have The Wanting Seed, which details a massive overcorrection from a liberal government to an extremely conservative one, which almost perfectly captures what the MAGA movement is. It is an overcorrection to wokeness. It is their way to own the libs. And then we have a book that I've talked about over and over again on this channel, Our Missing Heart, which explores the realities of a government mass disappearing people because they are seen as un-American, in the same way that we are seeing ICE raids all throughout this nation. And it is a great exploration for why it is so important that we do not stay quiet. And then we have Little Brother. Written just after 9/11, this book details America after a terrorist attack, and how the government reacted to this terrorist attack by creating a surveillance state, where every person is monitored, and anyone who speaks against America is now seen as a terrorist. And after this past week, this book has become incredibly relevant again, as the President of the United States has sent the military in on peaceful protesters. And the administration has gone so far as to call protesters domestic terrorists. And the final book on this list is a book that has not yet been released. It is In the Algorithm We Trust, written by me. This book details the way that algorithms can shift the way that we see reality. And if you look at the comment section on my Instagram and my TikTok, you can see exactly how different algorithms have completely shifted the way that people see reality. And if you are not aware of the way you are being deceived perceived by the algorithm, you can easily fall into an authoritarian state, just like what happens in this book. And to find out more about the release of this book, make sure to hit subscribe. Otherwise, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you think that there are any books that I should have included on this list, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this sort of video, please let me know by liking and subscribing. And don't forget to follow me on my other social medias. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and Substack and Blue Sky. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.